Oh, hello, howdy, hi, I'm Blazer. No, not the one who made the last promise, that's why it's called that. Anyway, this is more FE9 characters getting skills, personal skills. It has been a month since the last release, and I realized I want to record more. And I don't, and this one's unscripted, so it might go faster. It might go slower. We'll see. So, disclaimers. As per usual, these skills are intended to be good, while also fitting the character, making them all useful in some way. I'm going for flavor over function here, for the most part. So while no character's gonna get totally screwed or become busted, these may seem strong and unbalanced to some. So yeah. Anyway, first up is Soth, Watchdog. Allies wielding tomes or staves within 3 spaces gain plus 15 evasion. Bonus is doubled for units wielding light magic. Yeah, I figured that Soth would be good at watching people who are like mages, because in the next game, Micaiah is a character, and she's a mage. That's also why the bonus is doubled for people who wield light magic, because Micaiah is a mage. Will it make Soth useful? Probably not, but will it make him, like, fun to use and a good support option for mages? Probably. He gets Tormod. It's Marvel or something, and Reese loves it in this game. And that's about it. Jill, Conviction. When unit is at 75 HP or above, unit gains plus 15 hit. Jill has a strong conviction, and when she's at her best, she's capable of keeping focus and staying strong. And yeah, that's about it. I wanted to give her something to help with her speed in her early game. In the first chapter that she joins, I remember her being like really slow, and that being her main, like her one and only issue. But this just seemed easier and fun, and still works. Yeah. Astrid, Freedom. Unit takes -2 damage, gains plus 10 hit when there are no allies adjacent to unit. Yeah, this one's pretty easy to explain. Astrid decided to become a knight for the sole purpose of gaining freedom and not having to be protected by anyone. So when she's, like, not being actively protected by anyone, or which I interpret as adjacent to, she gets more confident in herself and is able to hold her own. Maybe this will make her better as a training project, or like a lone wolf type of girl. I don't know why, whatever. Unscripted means this happens all the time. You're just gonna have to deal with that. Makalov. If unit is not the first to move this turn, unit gains plus 3 attack speed. Makalov is a lazy bastard, and would probably, he'd probably say that this is just because he's letting other people take the lead, and he's just learning from their example. No, he's just lazy and he doesn't want to do it. This is just him not wanting to do it. Yeah, that works. I think Makalov is like the fastest of the cavalry units, so it helps give him more of a niche as just the one who's really fast. Though I feel like you'd want him to be. Personally, I move my healers first, and then last. Whatever. You get the point. He moves fast when he's lazy. Sure. Tormod, Firebrand. When unit defeats a foe, allies within 2 spaces deal. Oh, oops. I forgot to put the number here. It's supposed to be like +2. They do +2 more damage for the next attack, and the bonus is doubled for Laguz units. I should have checked this earlier, but yeah, Tormod's a rebel. He's a rebellious kid who inspires his friends to fight longer, and he's specifically a part of the Laguz Emancipation Army. So this bonus will go double for Laguz because that's the group he's more concerned with. Yeah. Morum, this guy, overprotective. foes within 2 spaces deal 20% less damage and lose -10 crit when facing any ally unit that isn't them. So like, if you don't attack this unit, then you deal less damage and you get less crit. Morum's an overprotective guy who likes protecting specifically Tormod, and worries over a lot of things and a lot of people, but doesn't really seem to care that much about himself, from what I've read of his supports. So that's upsetting. But yeah, he doesn't really need anything to make him stronger. Morum's already strong on his own, if I remember correctly. So I just made him a buff. I just gave him a buff. Yeah. Alright. Stefan, Brotherhood. Adjacent Laguz allies take -3 damage. Adjacent Beork allies deal +3 damage. Stefan's a weird guy. He probably he's a branded. He wants to unify both the Laguz and the Beork. Or at the very least, he is the union of those two races. So, yeah. He gets a bonus when he is yeah. I didn't want to give him like a buff or something, but I really wanted to give him like Odin's Aching Blood. Like where if you forge a weapon and give it a name, it gets a bunch of crit. Like he gets a bunch of crit and stuff. But Stefan does not need a buff to anything except maybe his defense. And I didn't really care enough to give him to that. I didn't really care enough. So yeah, sorry Stefan. Devdon, Catalyst. When unit defeats a foe, adjacent allies gain +20 hit and evasion for the rest of the turn. When Devdon is a supportive and friendly guy who likes being friendly and supportive to his friends. Yeah, whenever he like, I don't really think Devdon really needs that much to be strong. This one's mainly just because I figured that it would help him as a utility unit, because he's not that good of a combat. I don't really remember. I haven't used Devdon because look at him. Fucking caricature of racism in the racism game. Anyway. Yeah. That's about it. He's fine. This will probably help him this will probably help people want to use him more. It'll work. Tanith. Okay, we're getting to the characters that already have personal skills, and I just made them like a bit stronger. Tanith already has Reinforce, which allows unit to call partner reinforcements. Enemies killed by reinforcements drop up their items in your convoy and grant bonus experience to your army, and unit gains half of experience from their kills. This still allows them. It's like the one problem she has with reinforcements, where if you summon them, they just steal a bunch of experience points. And like, who cares at that point? Because at the point that you get her, that like you don't really need to train up your units that much, except for maybe Ike, and because your units are getting stronger and promoting. But it's still nice to have. And what if they steal an item from you? That'd suck. This just prevents that. She's still good. She doesn't really need anything to make her too good. So like, yeah, this works. Racin, Valor. Adjacent allies gain hit equal to unit's luck. Racin, despite all appearances, is a very angry character and wants to make sure that the people who have caused him grief suffer, but he is not able to do so himself. So he inspires his allies to get stronger and fight for him. Yeah. That's about it. He's a dancer. You don't really need to make him good. Also, I figured that he had some personal skills, but those are just class skills, according to like the next game. So I decided not to give him those and upgrade those, because like he's just a heron. He gets those skills because he's a heron. Anyway, Janif and okay, whatever. Janif, in addition to always having hit plus 20 or accuracy, when transformed, unit gains plus 10 crit when they initiate combat. And for Ulki, in addition to always having plus 20 evasion, when they are transformed, they gain plus 20 crit evasion. I don't think either of these skills will make them useful. Or want, but like they already have those personal skills. They don't need any more. Pretty funny that I had an entire section of the first video where I literally said there are going to be some characters that appear that have their own personal skills already, so I'm going to not do those guys as much as justice. And then I didn't get to them because I just didn't want to do the full video because I just didn't have time. Well, now. Anyway, that was fun. Oops. Hey, I wonder what I'm using for... You can tell. This is amateur hour. Who cares? Khalil, Extravagance. If unit has 5 or more magic than foe, unit deals plus 3 damage and gains plus 15 crit. Khalil is extremely confident in her skills as a combat mage, or just a mage. So whenever she sees someone who is also using magic but worse than her, she's probably quick to gloat about it and show them what a real mage can do or something. I really like Khalil. No. Anyway, I don't think she needed this. This could probably help her a little bit. Maybe it's a bit overkill with the crit, but I like it, personally. I like giving units crit, because I'm a crit monkey. Anyway. Tyranio, Galvanize. Unit can rally an adjacent unit. Can an ally, increasing all stats by 2 for the rest of the turn. I'm getting tripped up already. Tyranio is a general who knows how to handle himself on the front lines and inspires his allies to do well. I mean, he's one of the 4 Riders of Daein, so yeah. Or he was one of them, or at least he was on their level. So yeah, I think he'd probably be good at rallying the soldiers under Ike's command to be stronger. I don't think he needs much of anything else. He's already just a fine armor knight. He's fine. Ranulf, Fluidity. When untransformed, unit gains plus 30 evasion. When transformed, unit gains plus 30 crit. In my mind, Ranulf needed a lot to make him useful, so I wanted to give him a skill that made him really strong on both phases. So like the idea, character-wise, is that Ranulf is good at managing situations and handling himself, in both human form and cat form. Like as a human, he's charming and friendly and kind, but he's not to be underestimated as a warrior. And that's the general idea. It does beg to question how he was able to get cornered by 4 dudes in Tara in chapter 11, but maybe he just wasn't locking in. I can see him dodging those guys, come on. Anyway, Har, Stasis. When unit does nothing but the wait action during their turn, unit takes -4 damage and gains +5 crit for the rest of the turn. What else? It's Har's sleep. Har's sleepy and tired. When Har doesn't attack, he gets sleepy and becomes a better warrior because of it. He gets a good night rest. I think Har needed a little bit more in some department, maybe, but this is fine. He's a tank. He can just be a flying tank that you can just park anywhere and he's fine. Yeah, anyway. Bastion, Befuddle. If unit defeats a foe, unit grants themselves and adjacent allies +2 to a random stat, as well as +5 hit, evasion, and crit. Maybe I could have gone a little bit higher with this, but the idea is this, the idea is that Bastion is weird, and whenever he... Bastion is weird and dramatic, so whenever he defeats a foe, his weird and dramatic nature rubs off on his allies, and they get stronger in some way that they wouldn't be able to predict, and he wouldn't be able to predict. Yeah. I don't think this will make him useful, but it will be fun. Lucia, Loyalty. Allied units win 3 spaces gain plus 10 crit and evasion, and take minus 1 damage. Bonus is tripled for Ike and or Alencia. I probably just could have said and Alencia, but whatever. Yeah, Lucia is not that good of a combat unit, but she is loyal to Alencia, and wants to help Ike. And I didn't want to make it specifically based around only Ike or Alencia, so there you go. She's pretty. I wish she was a good unit, man. She's pretty. And cool. Anyway, Joffrey, Exemplary. All allies on the map gain plus 5 hit and evasion when unit is deployed. Bonus is doubled for 1 turn when unit defeats a foe. It's a leadership star, but it can get boosted if you do literally anything with him. Or like when... It's leadership star force. Gale Force's second cousin and removed or whatever. I think Joffrey is like serviceable enough, so he didn't really need a strong buff, but this could help him be more usable. Maybe. You know, I keep saying that I love these guys, but I feel like a lot of you guys in the comments are gonna be like, no, you need to go harder with this or something. And you're probably right, but I did put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, so suck it. Largo, Revelry. Both unit and foe gain plus 15 hit, crit, and plus 15% to skill activation. I think this skill is fun. Largo revels in combat and is very reckless and stupid and funny about it. He's having a great time kicking your ass. This with a giant axe. And honestly, the enemy might be too, but he's having a very hard time not getting crit about it. I think this will make him fairly usable, if not a little bit of a risky guy to use, because, you know, the enemy having plus 15 crit on you is very bad. But hey, it's fun. Dutiful. Alencia. Dutiful. If there is a wounded ally on the map, unit gains plus 2 to all stats and plus 1 movement. I think this will make Alencia pretty good. Alencia is a dutiful queen who cares about her people and wants to protect them at all costs. And when she finally gets the courage to fight on the battlefield, she does so while still holding the dutiful resolve in her heart. Maybe I should have had a script for this. Who cares? I think that Alencia can be fine as just a flying healer, but I do want her to be a decent enough combat unit. I have the opinion that she probably would have been better if she just joined like 2 chapters earlier or something, or in like chapter 19 or 20. Anyway, not the point. This will make her an even better flying healer, and that's all you really need from Alencia. You're gonna have to use her for a while anyway, so why not? Anyway. Nasir, Redemption. When unit defeats a foe, enemies adjacent to target lose minus 15 hit and evasion for 1 turn. I don't know what this has to do with Redemption, but yeah. Look, old me was, like, month-old me wasn't thinking too hard. But yeah, Nasir has redeemed himself and is now fighting for his allies. So the underhanded tricks that he uses for his enemy, for the enemy side, are now being exploited for our side. And those underhanded tricks are pretty strong, because you can now attack someone pretty easily and safely, without fearing counterattacks as much. Maybe. I don't know who really too much. Probably. Anyway, Aina, Sagacity. Unit gains +5 attack speed whenever they attack a foe who cannot attack, who cannot counter, and takes -5 damage when attacking a foe who can counter. Ooh, boy. Glad we're almost done here. Anyway, Aina is a master tactician and a mighty sage when it comes to that. Like, she's pretty good at stinking, so she's pretty good at handling herself in combat. Yeah, she holds her own in combat and uses the wisdom that she learned to fight for herself and for her allies. Luckily, we're almost done, so I can stop losing steam and maybe make something better in the future, whatever. Oh yeah, the last three are just, like... The last three are Tabarn, Brilliance. All allies deal +2 damage, gain +10 crit when unit is deployed. Naysala, Treachery. All allies take -2 damage, gain +10 evasion when unit is deployed. And Gifka, Diligence. All allies gain +1 to all stats and +20% to skill activation when unit is deployed. Maybe I could have switched the last two around a bit, but yeah. They are all characters that join for one map and give you one specific bonus. And give you one specific bonus that you can use to your advantage. It doesn't really matter which one you pick, although I feel like people are probably still going to pick Tabarn. That's it. This is probably a shorter video than the last one, and definitely a more rambly one, although it still was... The first one was pretty rambly. Whatever. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I should add an end card to these. Goodbye.